America.
America.
This episode is brought to you by Right Stuff Detailing
At www.getdiscbrakes.com.
Hey guys, so we got our toys from Right Stuff today. I'm going to be installing the 9-inch brake booster with riveted brackets, which is going to make installation a lot easier. It's obviously not original to the car. The original piece for the car is 12 inches. We also got a big bore master cylinder that's going to go in. What are you working on?
So, along with installing that, Nikita is going to install this new bracket, or correction, I'm going to install the bracket on the frame. This is the bracket that has the proportioning valve up by the master cylinder and the booster. So we're going to try this bracket that they sent us, which is the 7172 A body. It's Paul Victor Bravo 78. That's PVB 78. And what it does is it moves the proportioning valve, this big old lug, and all the lines that are going to be on it, moves it from this location up at the top down to the frame. I'm not sure how to install it yet, but I'm looking forward to bringing those lines down and keeping the engine bay cleaned up. Along with that, they sent us some disc brakes, rear disc brakes. Now these are modeled similar to the later model Cadillac, Torino, and Buicks with front wheel drive but 4-wheel discs. What they did was they recast this, I believe, and then they moved the proportioning valve. So we have some of those actually on this car, but we're going to try and put these on. It may not be this episode, but we want to make sure that you are aware that this is an option. Let's get to it.
All right, don't forget we got all of our stuff today from Right Stuff Detailing, so try them out, okay guys?
Yeah, they're located in Ohio. If you do watch our series, you know that we also use Hot Shot Secret. They're out of Ohio. A lot of the companies that we are dealing with this American Steel we try to get everything from the United States. One of our places that we purchase a lot of our stuff from is Summit. So if you don't go to Right Stuff directly, you can find all their items and their reviews on Summit Racing catalog or their online store. So you don't have to take our word for it, but they've been gracious enough to basically sponsor some of the stuff that we're doing. So we'll look forward to dealing more business with them.
Yeah.
Be right back.
All right, so pre-installation, we are going to make sure that our brake booster piston is going to fit into our master cylinder well just right. Play with some Play-Doh here. We're just going to put this right on inside our well here, if it'll stay. There we go.
You don't need very much. Just make sure that it sits tight and then gently pull it out.
Okay. You guys can see the metal around our piston right there. That means we have good contact, so it doesn't look like we're going to need to adjust anything.
All right, let's get it installed.
So we're taking off these old brackets here so we can get our new brake booster in. And unfortunately, like most of these cars, you have very little room to work on, so it takes forever to do the one little thing. We have quite a bit of customizing going on right here. We're gonna put the booster in temporarily so that we can make sure that all of our wires and everything else fit before we permanently put it in here. The master cylinder needs a clear coat before we attach that. So, oh my goodness, such a little room to work with. Troy's over here cleaning up the transmission fluid that spewed out when we got her fired up. Yeah.
Find the carb cleaner, brake cleaner or whatever.
The brake cleaner. So guys, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, americasgarage.com. Also, we'd like to give another shout out to Right Stuff Detailing for our brake parts today. We are also waiting for our brake lines to come in. We haven't gotten those yet, so hopefully we'll have them here soon and get those installed. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. Got it. Oh, sweet. All right.
Okay, you want me to hold that?
Nope.
That's in the tray.
There we go.
So when you get that tightened down, I'll go inside and get the brake adjusted, or at least the length of the rod on the inside.
Come on, baby, get on there. There we go. All right, so there's our pretty brake booster installed. No master cylinder on it as we're waiting for the clear coat to dry. Here's what Troy is working on.
Give me those parts.
Oh, there you go.
Alright. So we're gonna put the rod on and the clevis, and I'll show you real quick with the camera here. Oh, dropping the camera. Alright, are we upside down or right side up? Alright. Let's see, focus, there it is. All right, so brake is loose. Come on, camera, focus. All right, so the brake pedal is loose. There is a hole in the side. I don't know if that's gonna show right there. So what I need to do is I need to take the rod that is included in the clevis and get it adjusted. So I'll put the clevis on, and then figure out how to put the clevis on and figure out how much of this rod I even need to adjust. It looks like quite a bit, because if I put that pin there, I've got quite a bit. So good thing they include all that jazz with the new rod. I'm going to use that for the brakes too underneath when I get the cables and stuff like that for the emergency brake. But as for now, we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, slide off it and then back onto it. Use your fingers a little bit, like right here. Taking care of it. Now just bump around the edge of it a little bit. Just hit, yeah, there you go. Just like that. There you go. That's good. Yeah, are you going to take this edge off there? Get a hold on that one. Okay guys, so this is now the clevis attached to that extension. You saw Nikita cut off a little bit there, about an inch. We could have cut off a little bit more, but we graced it out as far as giving tolerance. And yeah, it was almost perfect. The jam nut here is it's bottomed out. Then this is torque down to it, and then tension is placed on this piece. And what that did was it gapped it right here, turned this jam nut down to the actual, I don't even know what this is called, the throat of this rod right here. So we do have a nice little bit of a gap in between the threads of the stud, and it's not going to have any problems right there. We've got plenty slack. And what I want to show you is on this GM here. Now, depends on what you're going to put in. You would put this, come on, go ahead and, there we go. Try and get it to focus. You would put this section on ahead of time and slide it through the tunnel, or through the firewall. Well, I knew that on this GM here, I could take this bracket off and move the stop. And that's what I did. I took it off, and then we had to measure this, cut it, you know, by eye, get it fitted, and then put this back on and tested the brake light, or the power to the brake light, and it's perfect. There's a little bit of slack, so you put your foot on the brake. It's not going to go on until you actually push on the brake. So it came out perfect. I don't know, you know, if you buy something from the parts store, but I wouldn't. The product that you're going to get from the Right Stuff is going to be better than your Chinese parts house. So so that's that part. So we'll come back here in the next few days when we get some parts, and we will continue on with this video. So long.
A few moments later.
All right, this is the quick review of the brackets we were talking about earlier. This is the original proportioning valve that sits on the frame rail, and because we want four-wheel disc brakes, we got to replace this. Now normally this is up by the booster and master cylinder on that L bracket, but the Right Stuff sent us this one to put on. Now I have already pre-fit it, and even though it says 71, 72 frame, it fits right on the 69 frame as well. So what you do is, this has got a locator hole and then your one bolt hole, and after you fight and get your old fittings off, you're going to set that aside. This one is going to go on your frame. So if this is the front of your car, this goes in your frame. You're going to use some coarse self-tapping bolts, probably the one that came out of it, and then you'll need one just like it for down here. They do fit, and it tucks right up against the frame real nice. Now when you put your proportioning valve on, it'll line up like this as it sits on your frame, and the rear is going to be easy accessible to put on. Your sensor's still right on top, and then of course your other lines. Any lines that come down from the top of the master cylinder. I just grabbed some bolts that I had laying around before I go buy some. Just, like I said, these are just cheap bolts. And that's how it'll sit on the frame as viewed from underneath the car. I'll put it down in the camera here. This will be how it sits, and then you just adjust what you need back here for your fittings for it. So I'll go into the car and show you. It's going to be hard to see, but if you go from Summit or the Right Stuff, it's Papa Victor 412 Mike 118 on this proportioning valve for four-wheel disc. I got this off of Summit, but you can get it from the Right Stuff. You don't need to, either way, whatever way you go with your kit or your assembly. So we'll get back under the car here. Okay, so here is the frame rail from underneath the car. We do have a little bit of daylight reflecting through here. So this hole is the front mounting point, and then it'll sit down and mounts right up here to this one right here. I've got these lines that I've made, so they're in the way, and I'm trying to do this one-handed, so you know nothing is going to be really easy. Of course, I can't hold the camera at the same time. All right, like I said, put that front one in, and then you're gonna flip up the back side of it. Now I didn't tighten it down, but I'm going to scratch my frame a little bit here. There's the back indicator. All right, if you see that, it is mocked up, and there is very little clearance from my header to the back side of this valve. In fact, I think it might be touching. So this will work on everybody else that is not running headers, or if you're running factory manifolds. But my headers drop right here, and I have a slight contact. I'll tighten everything down and check it, but more than likely I'm going to have to put it back up on the use that other L bracket and put it back up there. So that sucks. I was not looking forward to that. It is a really nice setup though. I really do like the fact that it comes down, sits down here. So I might figure something out. I don't know. With that, I will call The Right Stuff on Monday and figure out what to do. Bye. Okay, so I got it tightened down, and now I have a little bit of clearance. And with my heat wrap, I shouldn't have any issues with this. Here's the zip tie, and I can run the zip tie around. And so I have at least the thickness of the zip tie. Let me see how much I have. Well, here we are just a few minutes later, and I looked at it. I have clearance everywhere. My fittings are going to be off the bracket towards the end. Not worried about that. So all I did was take a flat screwdriver and I tapped the edges on these out, and I just took them right out. It's not going to affect the bolt because it'll tighten down from this side. Let me think here. Nope. Tightens down from this side, so we have a good surface right here, and I'll just put another washer on it.
Hey guys, it's a week later, and we're back with more Right Stuff detailing products. We got the brake lines in, so we're going to be working on that today. You saw Troy install the proportioning valve down here on the frame. Can you move the camera and show everybody?
Yeah.
Which replaced the bracket and extra lines, and it's going to make it look a lot cleaner under the hood.
Gets rid of all that.
Yeah, all the junk, so you can see it down there.
Right there.
So this line is going to make it super easy to attach to our back lines. You can see it might need a little tweaking or bending in certain areas, but it'll make it look really clean.
So that's
this is the back one. And then
that's the back one. Okay.
Yeah.
So show them all the.
And then this is our front line. So back to back, front to front, pretty easy, guys. Go down there, pop it on the front.
All right. So when we attach that, we'll
obviously
do that, and I'll go underneath and I'll get it set under there. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a deal.
No, the tools you're going to need are a 7/16 and a 9/16, and obviously a pick to take the caps off. Here we have our driver's side line, all nice and clean. And then we have our passenger side line over here, which we'll probably be doing a little bit later. Maybe not in this episode, but
I'll put it on later. Flip it around.
So pretty clean,
Flip it around.
pretty awesome.
So it goes on. Let me think here. Yeah, it goes on like this.
Yeah.
Because the proportioning valve, the front right is underneath on the proportioning valve. So this is the underside.
Okay.
And then those are the on top supply lines. And then they gave us a fitting so that I can hook up the custom line in the back to box the frame on this car. But yeah.
Should be pretty easy.
So we'll go to hyperlapse, and then we'll come back and show you what's going on.
Okay, so it took a little bit of tweaking, just a little bit. It was just a little bit off. Troy went underneath and took off the proportioning valve, connected the bottom lines, and then reattached the proportioning valve, which made it so much easier, so much.
It's not off. It's just we're working with a 51-year-old car. The lines are perfect for a perfect situation, but I mean, you just barely did anything, and you got it.
Yeah.
You just have to deal with it like that. It's just, but it's on.
It's on. And it looks a lot cleaner than having a bracket and extra lines.
Right.
You know.
So, all right. So, Nikita's gonna finish. Are those tight?
Yeah, these are nice and tight.
Yeah, I'll go back underneath there, and I'll get the front, and then what are we gonna do next? Oh,
Rear brakes.
yeah. Let's get the rear brake calipers. Let's show everybody those calipers that we're gonna do for the rear and how to install those.
Okay.
Be right back.
Oop, that lip on that board is catching it up a little bit. There we go.
All right, Nikita's getting ready to take that caliper off. Now that's a caliper from 70s, late 70s to early 80s, Cadillacs, Buicks, Oldsmobiles, the front wheel drive with the rear disc brakes. And so that's the bracket. I've got a spare one. That's the bracket that I installed on my axle, re-drilled and stuff. But fortunately, the Right Stuff sent us this caliper that we talked about. And again, just a second ago, I said it looks a lot more robust. But the main difference that I saw, and it's better, is that bleeder valve is in an easier location than the ones that I have on. So anyway, Nikita's going to take this off. We're going to go ahead and hyperlapse it and come back right after that.
That's off.
Alright, well, let's show everybody what I did wrong. There's the bracket. And if you look, let's see if I can get in there close. Now the Right Stuff may have something coming up, but what I did was when I rebuilt this rear end, I put this bracket, re-drilled it, and put this bracket on, and then put my seal, press seal back over it, and my bearings are in here and everything else. So this bracket again is off of what I say, 70s, early 80s, front wheel drive, rear disc brake, Buick, Cadillac, Oldsmobile, like that. So let's mine is ugly because I rebuilt them, but pull out theirs and show everybody what theirs looks like. Flip it over. Okay, so let's see, we'll go this way. See the bleeder valves there on the front of this one, and it's on the back of this one. Makes it a lot easier. And then these things that you can't buy and rebuild, and these are very expensive. These are not as expensive. These are way better. I like these a lot. So you don't need. The only thing I need different is show them this side right here.
Oh, your little bag.
Yeah, I gotta put this fitting on here so that goes in my hard lines because I didn't get rubber hoses. I didn't buy rubber hoses. I made these lines back here, but it looks like everything's gonna fit real pretty like. So go ahead and slap the disc on there and see what happens. Oh, and since I put this backwards, not backwards, but I put the caliper on the back of the wheel assembly, I did not figure that that bottom pin hits my shock. Had I just turned it a little bit more or put it on top or even put it in the front, it would have been a lot better. Located it.
So
well, actually, no, you can't put it in front. You can't put it in front because the bleed valve would be in the wrong place on it, and the brakes. So it has to go at least on the back or tilted up a little bit more, or even down a little bit more. But that's the only issue I have with my assembly that I built. So we're gonna take a break and come right back and install everything, and maybe get some clear on that caliper, and then get it assembled.
Okay, we're back after a cool down. We are back to putting on the Right Stuff Detailing rear brake caliper. So let's get this on here. Whoa!
Ninja.
Whoa.
It's too hard on it.
Stay. Okay.
Flick out your phone.
Oh, I moved it.
Nope.
No?
No. You grabbed it wrong.
How did I grab it wrong?
This is the top. Go on the inside.
Boom. Stay.
There you go.
Oh
It's just squishy.
no. Okay.
Just tip it in there. There you go.
Ooh, smells good. Nice clear coat going. Okay. Is it on there? Holes aren't lined up.
It's okay. You can slide the top pin in first, and then push the brake caliper back.
Ah! Where's the pins? Ah! Got it.
Okay. You gotta pull that disc or the pad back.
I need 10 more hands.
10 more hands.
10. Oh.
Ah, everything fell apart. Start over.
Redo.
Yep. Yeah, because let's see, where's your pin go? Pin goes through. See how it pushes it down and it holds that?
Okay.
You can let that sit in the bottom while you get the top in. So it holds it in.
Okay. Take
There you go.
2.
Take 2. Actually, we didn't stop anything. Just tap. Just bump the top in. There you go.
Ah! Where's the second pin?
Well, the first pin I put in.
Yeah, but where's the second one? Did you lose it? Ah!
Our lighting crew sucks. How's that taste?
Delicious. Okay.
Is it
It's
is
not-
it having issues?
Yeah, it's just not lining up.
Okay, let me get in there since
Oh.
I can manhandle it a little bit better.
The holes just aren't lining up. Stay.
Okay, let me try.
Okay.
Let's see. Go ahead, let go. It's fine. It ain't going anywhere. Take my pins. Let's see what's going on here. It's so precious. Okay, let's put this pin out. Let's look at the whole thing.
Oh, you push it forward now. Oh, redo. Take 3.
Take 3. Well, it's because I took it apart the first time and it was just fine if I left it alone.
Let's see how to go and touch it.
had to go and touch it. Alright. Put everything back together. Oh, I see. There's a little bit of the plate had come loose. There. See what it's doing. It's trying to come apart. Yeah.
See?
Fortunately, I don't think this is going to work for our bracket setup. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. Let me take the bricks out of it.
Oh, it lines up there.
Nope, it's me. I'll take that commentary out of there. Yeah, it was just the user.
User.
Yep. Gotta put the clip back in. I'm sure shops have a whole system that you utilize for this. Okay, so a couple things was learning that this spring, again, it's a better quality product. So this spring, I wasn't really sure how to assemble this because the way I had it was this way, which is reverse for this car. And the reason I did that is because basically I wanted to keep the springs from fighting each other, and now this setup is makes a little bit more sense. The spring is keeping it away, whereas on the old style you had this spring that had to keep it pushed back. So what I would do next time is really take all the slack out, leave the spring, drop it in here, and then try and put this together. It's a fight either way, so it's gonna work. Just the way I tapped it in, probably it didn't hurt, it didn't crimp the cable at all, but anyway, yeah, it actually works. I was afraid it wasn't, but this, like I said, this is a factory bracket from an older, actually a newer car to this one, and I like how it came out. I really should thank the Right Stuff for providing this one for installation, and it's no different. Installation on this caliper is no different than installation on any other car. So my suggestion is on the brake pad is you just kind of have to wiggle the top one in and get it locked in with the pin, and then come down to the bottom, get the bottom one locked in. And it is frustrating. I don't do it all the time, but it is frustrating if you just don't have you don't have extra hands. Nikita was having a problem because, you know, finger strength and stuff like that, so it was a fight for her. Do you have any words of encouragement?
No.
Nah, you just chilling?
Just chilling. Watching the work in progress.
Work in progress. Well, we made it. We got it on.
It's got the clear coat on, so it doesn't have to come back
Yeah,
off.
I scratched it, but I know.
No.
I know. I'm gonna put some extra lubricant in here. But it is on. It is a functional unit. I love the fact the bleeder screw is right here. That is going to make life a lot easier than it being on the inside of the this one. All right, let me bring it up here. So there is where the bleeder is, and it sits like that. Well, can you imagine how much of a fight that would be back in there somehow? So they're the same thing, but it's better. It's also got a better sweep on the emergency brake. I like that. I think I can put my cables back on in a factory type of position. I did use the banjo bolt with this fitting so that my hard lines didn't have to be changed to rubber lines or anything like that. But yeah, so that goes for the installation of the Right Stuff, or www.getdiscbrakes.com. This is their new caliper with the emergency brake attached to it. I don't know about the brackets yet. I do have another rear differential. If we do need to do a step-by-step, send me a message. Contact the people over at the Right Stuff Detailing out of Ohio, and their customer service and their support is phenomenal. And you know what, guys, it's not that it's cheap, it's just that it's quality American product, American sales, and they're not big on all these big promotions. You can buy their stuff through Summit or them directly, but nobody's going to be upset whichever way you decide to go. And so for Mirka's Garage, thank you, and we're out.